Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle-King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African-American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
This is Big Poppy, host of Jazz from the Cabinets. Join me each week for a listening tour of the first century of jazz, an eclectic mix of Dixieland, big band, cool jazz, bebop, contemporary jazz, world jazz, all jazz in all forms. That's Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy on Rainier Avenue Radio, streaming worldwide on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Change is coming to King County's permitting process. We're making it more efficient, transparent, and predictable with improved tools, plus new review timelines starting in 2025. We are committed to supporting you. Together, we can keep projects on track and moving smoothly. Learn more about King County's Partnership for Success and visit our website at kingcounty.gov/permits. That's PERMITS.
Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
It's 7 o'clock, and you know what time it is. It's time for LidLine Sports. Hey everybody, welcome back to LidLine Sports, right? Streaming live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. I am Pep.
And I am O.
Oh, yes. What's happening, O?
Oh, man, I'm good, Pep. Just living the life. How you doing?
The same. Yep, the same. It's the holiday season.
Yes.
Are you into the holiday spirit?
Yes. Not as much as, the people that go crazy and they decorate their houses with lights and big old Christmas tree, but I enjoy the holiday spirit and aspect of it because, get to see family and things like that. But
yes,
I'm not the biggest, I guess I'm not festive when it comes to holiday season, but I enjoy it though.
Good. Yes. Likewise. Yeah, it's a good thing. And of course, meaning now that we're into the holiday season, that means we're at the end of certain seasons like college football, and we're still kind of in the middle, if not the back end of the NFL. We just started with the NBA and hockey recently. And of course, we've got some winter meetings coming up this week in Major League Baseball. So we got lots of stuff going on. But I want to start off first with the college football playoff has been set. And there's some teams that are disappointed, like Alabama and Miami, but they did it to themselves. Right, so that's the way it goes. I'm going to go through the seedings here in a few moments, but I will say this: the teams with the bye are Oregon, Arizona State, Georgia, and Boise State. Now, if you notice, 3 of those teams are on the West Coast, and 2 of those teams are the former Pac-12. That's pretty amazing. Impressive, I would say. Yeah, because Arizona State was, predicted to come in last.
I was just about to say that.
Right? Yeah, they're about to, and they're the champions. So, who do you like so far?
Out of the whole bracket, or those 4?
Let me go through the bracket, and then we'll talk about that. So Tennessee and Ohio State will get together. There are the 8 and 9 seeds. Ohio State's 8, Tennessee's 9, and they will fight to get to see who gets to play Oregon. Ohio State and Oregon already matched up this year, with Oregon defeating Ohio State 33-31, if everybody remembers that a few months ago. Oregon is the only undefeated team in the college football playoff, and matter of fact, they're the only undefeated team in college football, if I'm not mistaken. So good for them. on the other bracket where Arizona State is waiting, Clemson at number 12, they are the final seed actually, and ranked number 16, face Texas.
12, right?
Yes. Yeah, they're ranked 16.
Oh, yes. Got you.
But they're the number 12 seed.
Got you.
Mhm. They face Texas, who's the number 5 seed, ranked number 3. How, I don't know still, but whatever. They looked like trash against Georgia.
Yep.
I mean, Texas had all kinds of opportunities. They had, every time they made a big play, that was it. I mean, they couldn't go any further. They couldn't score. They didn't do anything. So, and that's the second time Georgia beat them. So Georgia beat them in the first game 30-15.
Yep.
So
this time with their backup quarterback,
right
in the second half.
Yep.
In the SEC championship.
Yep. Now probably the most interesting first round matchup to me, by looking at this, is Indiana and Notre Dame.
Agree.
I mean, both teams are located in the same state of Indiana. And so, you would think that they would have some kind of rivalry, but they don't. Notre Dame is, has been independent, and Indiana's in the Big Ten. And quite frankly, Indiana hasn't really been very good as far as college football is concerned. They're more of a basketball school.
Yep.
But that might change, so we'll see. But this one looks very interesting to me. Indiana is the 10th seed, and Notre Dame is the 7th seed. And finally, in the first round, we've got SMU and Penn State. Penn State is the 6th seed. SMU is the 11th seed.
You made a point there, Pep. I want to go back to that Indiana Notre Dame game.
Mm-hmm.
They have only played each other 29 times.
Wow, that's not a lot.
No,
when you consider
not.
This
that's,
is like
But I think you made a point. I think that had largely to probably do with Indiana not really being a football school, and Notre Dame is.
Right.
They do hold the record 23-5, one tie.
No doubt.
But I think this is also interesting because, we talked about Indiana and their one loss. They haven't played anybody. So,
yeah, I was kind of disappointed when I think I mentioned that last week or 2 weeks ago, that I was surprised that, Indiana was, before they played Ohio State, they had bombed out everybody. The closest game was like 14 or whatever. But then I realized, they didn't beat anybody with a winning record.
Yeah.
So, man, oh well. But they're in.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
And yeah, you bring up Alabama's. I think what's his name? Nick Saban, he came on air and said that, strength of schedule should matter and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, basically what he's saying, this tournament should just be SEC, Big 12, and Big 10 teams.
Yeah.
And mostly SEC.
And we don't want that.
Yeah.
America doesn't want that.
And Alabama got blown out by 2 teams. So it's not like they got,
and one of those teams was unranked.
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Yep. They shot themselves in the foot, and they were not worthy of making this college football playoffs.
That's right.
If you want to match them up against SMU, I think they would be the favorites, but that's not what this is about. It's not just going to pick the 16 or whatever, 12 best teams and go that by just talent and skill alone. It's never like that. You have to play to get there, and they did, and they faltered, and they came up short. So no, I don't agree with Nick Saban on that. Nope. I was, I guess, not too surprised, but a little surprised SMU snuck in there because, I guess this would be to Nick Saban's point too. They haven't played anybody, but they did make it to the ACC championship, and that is much more telling.
And barely lost it.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
It's not like they got handled.
You're right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and look, on my bingo card, I did not have Arizona State, Boise State, SMU, Indiana on as,
and that's good
as a college football top 12 playoff. So I like it. I'm fine. I'm fine with it because this is good.
Yeah,
This
and I think
what
makes it more exciting, You're about to ask me who I like, Pep. I have no idea. I really don't. Usually, even with the 14 players, you can say like, Georgia has a strong chance. Alabama has a strong chance. I know Oregon has dominated this season, but there just still leaves a little bit of question that if Oregon plays, has to possibly play Tennessee or Ohio State, and then possibly playing a Texas or Arizona State, in my opinion, can they win 3 big games, quality teams? And I'm not saying they can't, but like I said, this is not just a surefire, like they're my heavy favorite. But if they're your favorite or anybody else's favorite, I understand. They're the only team who's coming in.
Well, they're mine.
And they have beaten really good teams. But there is a team right under them in Boise State who gave them possibly their only their loss, and it was a close game. So that tells me there is room for error.
Yep.
But I don't know, Pep. I won't be surprised if Georgia gets there. I won't be surprised if Arizona State, Texas, Oregon, or Penn State.
Yeah. Well, Oregon's already beaten Ohio State, so they know them.
Yep.
I don't see any other team that can beat them.
Georgia
right now. No,
okay.
I don't think so. Because Georgia can be had.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I don't think so. I think Oregon, if they lose, they're just either gonna have a bad day, or they're gonna get turned over, right? And so I don't see it happening. And then of course, when you're playing a good team early, like Boise State did, and you don't beat them, if you see them again, you probably won't beat them this time because teams get better.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, you might have gotten better too, but they've gotten a whole lot better.
And what I do like about football playoffs is having that whole week, or in this case 2, to prepare for one team.
Yes.
That means both of these teams are going to be at their best performing for this one game. And I do love that. I love that about just the one, eliminate, go home, and having some time to actually study your opponent, go out there and practice what you need to work on for just that opponent.
Yep.
I do love that aspect of football.
Yep. And what I like about this matchup, as far as the 12, we've got 2 of the best running backs in college football in this tournament.
Yep.
And that's Ashton Genty and Cam Scatteraboo of Arizona State. Yep. And Scatteraboo says that he's the best, but look, the eye test says it's Genty without question, even though I do like Scatteraboo a lot. He's like a squatty gotty Christian McCaffrey kind of guy. And I like him a lot. So whoever gets him or Genty in the draft, ooh-wee, they got a gem. So, and it looks like the running back is making a comeback.
Yes.
And I'm glad to see it because it's definitely happening in the NFL and college football. That's still, that position is still pertinent, and I'm glad to see that.
And that's what Barry Sanders said when he said about the possibility of Genty breaking his record. He said records are made to be broken, but even more importantly, he's helped putting the running back on the map.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. And I watched Barry Sanders documentary last week. Oh, it's outstanding.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was was it on Prime or Netflix? Well, I can't remember.
Okay.
But Doreen hit us up here and let me know because I know you know.
Let me get your Netflix password.
I got to get it from somebody else.
So you got Oregon. So who do you have playing them in the championship?
It's probably going to. Don't be surprised if it's Notre Dame.
Okay.
I would love to see Boise State because I love watching Genty, but that Notre Dame team looks pretty formidable. And, you can't count out Georgia, of course. So it's either Notre Dame or Georgia is who I'm thinking.
I think it'd even be more exciting to see SMU upset Penn State and having to play Boise State because those are the 2 smaller schools in this college football playoffs. When we know, for the most part, when it comes to college football, the big schools is what triumphs everything. So it'd be great just to even see those 2 play each other, possibly move on. So that's what I'm hoping happens. So I do hope for the Penn State upset.
Yeah, I would like to see that too, because look, Oregon already handled Penn State.
Yeah.
I watched that on Saturday, and it was like, yeah, it's a whole So
which is why I understand why Oregon is the favorite. They have handled everybody they played.
yeah, yep, sure have. All right, so that's going to be good to see coming up
December 20th.
Yes. All right. Major League Baseball had big news yesterday. Juan Soto for the next 15 years will be a New York
Yankee?
Met.
Wow.
Yes. Now, clearly, this man went after the bag because the Yankees offered 16,760. The Mets countered with 15,765. One less year and more money.
I think this was.
I mean, come on, man.
I know.
And the thing about it, Juan Soto, did you look at the lineup? I mean, you got Judge giving you protection, and Stanton. Who's going to protect you in Queens?
I guess Polar Bear if they bring him
you
back.
Still thinking Pete Alonso going to be there?
I don't think they can. I mean, I'm not saying the Mets don't have money anymore, but I don't know. But I will say, I mean, I think we knew it was about the bag when the Nationals offered him 15 for 440, which rightfully so. He declined, and he made more money on the back end. But I always knew that coming into this offseason, it was about the money.
Yeah.
The fact that he's gotten traded twice in his career early on, meaning that there was teams that could not match the price that he wanted.
So he's 24, right?
Yes.
24, so 15, it'd be 39 by the time the Mets are through him. But he does have an out in 2029, so we'll see what happens. So he gets $765 million plus a $75 million signing bonus. He gets 51 per season, $8.5 million a month. So child support's no problem in case that ever happens.
26. He's 26.
Okay, so he'll be 41. Yeah. That'll never happen. 314,815 per game, $133,396 per hour, 89,947 per shift. What does that mean?
Every time he shows up, I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know. How's that less than the per hour though? I don't get it.
I need to run these numbers by my boss.
Well, my accountant should be listening, so fill me in. And then 34,979 per inning, 2,018 per minute. Now I saw another post that had different numbers because this one is saying $34 per second. The other one said something like $1.36 for a second. So I don't know what the heck's going on with that. That's kind of weird. But anyway, I'll go with this one since this is the one I saw first. So
I mean, like I said, we can't say. I mean, yes, the Mets got better. This is the team that went on a tear in the second half and went to the NLCS.
Yeah, because they were like 15 games under 500 in June. Kind of like with the. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, is this enough? I mean, for the price tag, is this going to put?
It's going to have to be. You done already. The deal's done. So now you got to live with whatever happens.
Yeah.
Right. If he's, he had a career high 41 home runs in the Bronx, but Citi Field is not the same type of stadium. So we'll see what he,
Are they better than the Yankees?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Either. That's why. But that's.
But they did steal. They also got Clay Holmes from the Yankees too. So.
Former Yankee.
Right.
As well, one of the best relievers they had.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know if this makes them better than the Dodgers or the top tier teams. So
no,
we'll see.
Absolutely not. The Dodgers is still the gold standard right now.
Yeah.
For both leagues. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into some NBA, brother.
Yeah, let's get into some in-season tournament that's happening this week. So it's the second annual. It is now called, I forget the name of it, the NBA Cup. So Tuesday we will have. So on the Eastern Conference side, it is the Bucks playing the number 4 seed Magic, and then the Knicks playing the 3 seed Hawks. And then on the Western Conference side, we have the Thunder playing the Mavericks and the Rockets playing the Warriors. I've always said that this tournament and this in-season tournament, it's built for the younger teams. So I will say I want it to be the Rockets playing the Thunder, and then the Hawks playing the Magic. Now we know I don't think the Magic is going to have enough. As we heard, Franz Wagner got the same injury as Paolo Banchero with the torn pectoral muscle.
Yeah, that is poor.
I know.
You talk about a team with bad luck.
Yeah. They did beat my Suns on Sunday without those 2 players. So I'll give them a shout out for that. So I'm going to say Milwaukee moves forward. And I think the Knicks will beat Atlanta. And then I'm hoping your Knicks get to the championship.
They won tonight over the Raptors.
Yes. And then, of course, I think because the Thunder are the better team, but I just want to see the Rockets keep continuing to succeed. It ain't going to be the biggest of hurts or losses if the Thunder lose, because they are playing for something bigger. But it'll be nice to see the Rockets win this whole thing and just continue that momentum of I think that'll really shoot them up of being now a team that you don't want to play come playoffs. And I think now with that energy and the confidence, they're going to finish top 5 in my opinion. But they're really good too. And we'll see what happens with them and making a splash, maybe in the trade deadline, going to get something else. But I like them the way they are.
Who's the coach of the Rockets?
Ime Udoka.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess he's legit.
Yes. Oh yeah. He's made that known. But you can't. I mean, yeah. The Celtics also got a great coach in themselves. So I mean, it's a win-win situation. But Ime Udoka has been proven that he should, as of right now, I'd give him the coach of the year. But he is a legitimate coach. Those guys just play with just a different type of effort defensively. And to get a young team like that to play like that, man, that just says a lot about you and your coaching and the philosophy and what you're trying to build. And I like that, he's really demanding. So
yeah, I wonder what Nia Long would think about that. Oh, sorry.
Shots fired, Pep. Sheesh.
Yes.
I hope she's not listening.
Hey, we stream worldwide, baby. So she could be. Oh, let me check out LidLine.
Oh man, I think she'd log right off.
She'd be on here cussing me out. Yeah, I'm certain. But I'll take every bit of it and be like, wow, all right. Smoke me.
So that'll be going on this week. So there won't be no other games. How do you like the aspect of that, like being in Vegas? Making it like a fun, like tournament style.
Yes.
How do you feel
where
about
else you gonna
year
put it?
2? How do you feel about this year 2 now?
Where else is it gonna be?
Nah, they picked the right place.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no problem with that. I got no issue whatsoever.
I think it's been really fun. Like I said, it does bring an edge to these games when they're playing them before coming to this. To Vegas. I think a lot of these guys enjoy trying to get to Vegas because of the other aspects that come with Las Vegas.
Hope Nia's not there.
I think these guys do enjoy being able to go to Vegas for a few days, and I think it's not just the games that they're having fun with out there, especially for the young guys. But other than that, I agree with you. I think it's been super fun. It's just funny to hear, like, especially like the old guys. Like, I think Braun said when he found out they're eliminated, he said, he doesn't really care about this.
He don't care about
the same guy who was just in it though last year and talking about how he cares and he thinks it's good for the league. So
yeah, this guy,
the older guys, I don't really think it's built for them anyway. It's hit or miss with them. It's either they're here competing, and once they figure out they're not, they're like, I don't care about this. It's for the young guys, so it's gonna be really fun. Update on the conference, Eastern Conference. The Cleveland Cavaliers are still there, number
1-4.
And I finally got to really sit down and watch them play. It was against a hurt Charlotte Hornets, but man, I love Kenny Atkinson. I don't understand what the riff was or why when KD and Kyrie came to Brooklyn, why he couldn't be the coach there. I thought he would have did wonders. We saw what he did with the Nets before those guys came.
Mhm.
But he was the perfect piece of the puzzle for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He brought out offensively for those guys. Those guys was always going to be a good defensive team because you have anchors like Evan Mobley and I can't think of Jared Allen. So you didn't need to have to be you had to find a way to open this team up offensively. And I thought Kenny Atkinson was a perfect coach to get these guys playing at a faster pace. And not only that, Evan Mobley is playing like an all-star under these guys. And we know he kind of struggled playing under their last head coach. So
Right.
they're at 1. Are these guys serious, real contenders in your eyes, Pep?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
I mean, you're 25 games in, right?
Mhm.
So 21-4. You played the Celtics twice. You
Mhm.
1-1. Yeah, I would have to say, yeah, I got to give it to him. You know,
I agree. And then right behind them, the last year's champions, the Boston Celtics, cruising along at 19-5.
Mhm. Striking distance.
Yep, striking distance, and like I said, their eyes are on the prize for me. I don't really see a hiccup. They know the bigger pictures, and I understand Cleveland does too. But I'm still gonna have Boston Celtics being the favorite to come out the East.
Yeah, the Grizzlies got them the other night, but
They
you
did.
know it happens.
But just sitting right there, just chugging along, and I don't know how much is gonna change over these next few weeks without Paulo and Franz Wagner. but
Orlando.
The Orlando Magic 17-9, just finding ways to win. I hope that they can stay. I don't know if they'll stay in 3rd or 4th, but
8-2 in their last 10, like the Celtics.
And it's a blessing in disguise. I mean, Paulo goes out and Franz Wagner just becomes this all NBA player. So just to get those guys both back, hopefully in the next.
Well, next guy's got to step up now. Jalen Suggs, right?
Yeah.
Now he's been playing much better lately.
Yep.
So you know what?
I watched him against the Suns. He played really well, and I like him.
Me too.
Below that, the New York Knicks. Like I said, I want to see some more fluidity with them to feel more comfortable about things. But we both love the roster, and I think just still trying to find a way to gel after 25 games for them too. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, you know, like I said, like I always say, you know, you're in November, December, whatever. You're not going to be the same team in March.
Exactly.
So, and that's where it's key because March is going to be the home stretch, and then hopefully they'll be, you know, plenty of games over 500 and gelling and playing well, barring injuries, of course, because that's always a factor.
Number 1 on the West Conference side, the OKC Thunder. I think we all agree that they are the best team in the Western Conference and possibly the second best team in the NBA. I think another team that just has an eye on the prize is championship or bust with them this year. And I like that mentality with them. The Memphis Grizzlies founding their way back
9-1 in the last 10.
Really good. I didn't know that. They're finding health. They're finding a groove. And man,
Ja,
yes,
he's back. But you know, it's and I talked to Michael Carter about this a lot. You know, John Morant has got to be able to stay on the ground. He's got to do more than just fly and make highlights.
I agree.
You know, that's why he's hurt all the doggone time because he lands awkwardly, he gets knocked down and whatnot. Dude, you got to pick your battles as far as when you're going inside against guys that are 6'8", 6'9", 200-300 pounds. Okay, calm down. Sheesh. We know what you can do. We know who you are, but you ain't got to show us every play.
I felt that. The Houston Rockets. We just talked about
Doreen
them.
said Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then number 4, the Dallas Mavericks. You know, they were without Luka for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I like that team.
I do.
I like that team.
You know who else I like? It's just the chemistry is there, and I know they've been through a lot over these last couple of years. The Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
You know, it's always subtraction over these last couple of years, but they're still finding a way to plug, and that just tells you about the professionalism of Draymond Green and Steph Curry. They've gotten everybody else to build in behind them, and this is also with Steph being in and out the lineup. So I am impressed with the Warriors and what they're doing because I always keep saying that they're going to take a step down, and they're not. So
I know, right? Yep. Yeah. Their cohesion. They've been they're doing good. So 14-9. So and they are 5th in the West.
Yep.
So all right, cool. All right, so we're at the end of the first half, and so we're gonna finish up with the NBA when we come back, and then we're gonna get deep into the NFL, and I can't wait for that. So don't go away. We'll be right back. LidLine Sports, Rainier Avenue Radio.
Rainier Avenue Radio. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Your pay will increase on January 1st if you work in unincorporated King County and make minimum wage. The new rate will be $20.29 per hour. Smaller employees can pay less. The new minimum wage will help more people meet their costs of living, and it brings wages in unincorporated King County closer to wages in nearby cities. For more information and to find out if you work in unincorporated King County, go to kingcounty.gov/wage.
Greetings. This is your host, DJ Neftali, Rainier Avenue Radio World, the best DJ in the Seattle area. You can catch me every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Like I said, this is DJ Neftali, the best reggae in Seattle, Washington, the best radio station, Rainier Avenue Radio World. Come on, right?
Do you want to reach out to the Vietnamese community in Seattle? Just advertise in Le Viet Tây Bắc, that is Northwest Vietnamese News, the longest running Vietnamese language newspaper in our region. Go to nvnorthwest.com.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living. Broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, but want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. This program offers healthcare, housing, transportation, and recreational activities. There are no copays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE works to keep you healthy and in your home. Call 206-320-5325 or visit providence.org Elder Place. Providence.org Elder Place.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not using my GPS to navigate the land of 1,000 dances, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Welcome back to the second half of LidLine Sports right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. I'm Pep.
This is O.
Yeah, and we're back. We're going to finish up with the NBA real quick. What you got?
Joel Embiid returned for maybe the fourth time, I think. And it was funny. I saw somebody had posted because Paul George had returned too, and somebody said that Paul George has came out with more podcasts than he's played games this season.
Oh my God, he's clown.
But other than
and folks wonder why, and NBA is wondering why ratings are down.
Yeah,
it's stuff like this.
Yeah,
you know, these guys not playing, load management stuff. That's exactly why. Nobody cares.
Yep. No, you're hitting it right.
Nobody's gonna care until April when the playoffs start.
And that's why, they put in this NBA season cup is they're trying to find ways to make October through January
relevant.
Relevant and meaningful. And it just sucks that we've now birthed athletes, especially in the NBA basketball, who just don't care to hoop anymore. It's just about everything outside of it. And this goes all the way down, Pep, I coach at West Seattle. This just goes down to the culture all the way down to middle school and elementary.
Yeah.
Everything is about what can basketball do for me. It's not about the love of the game. And
that's gone.
Yeah, it is. And especially now with this NIL and college basketball, it's really deteriorating the love of sports in general. And basketball, which there's 82 games, these athletes pick and choose when it matters.
Well, the thing is, some of these players, especially superstars, they're getting rich in high school.
Yep.
So what is there to work for?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're already rich in high school and then college, the NIL deals, what's the NBA to you?
Yep.
That's just added. Okay, yeah, you pad your pocketbook, but it's already fat.
Yep.
So it's not like it was when I was coming up. It's like your dream is to be an athlete, especially for those that were excelled in D1 players. And so, Spencer Haywood, when he came into the NBA, he had a hardship, right? They had the hardship rule, and the hardship rule was for kids coming out that were in destitute areas, family situations. Now that's gone almost because you could be rich in high school. I mean, because kids are getting Nike deals, as a junior and senior in high school, so they're already making six figures and whatnot, making more than their parents. And their parents aren't mad, but you know what I'm saying.
It's great.
Yeah, but I mean, sheesh, what? It's crazy.
You made a point too. Somebody said this, and I didn't agree at first, but I had to think about it. Somebody said that basketball is becoming a rich family sport.
Yes, I heard the same thing.
They're saying how super expensive it is to play AAU basketball now.
It is because now you gotta pay for travel and look, you gotta pay to be on a team.
Yep, you gotta pay for training.
Yes.
Pay for just exposure, these camps, the gear.
Yeah, because those trainers are full time now, so they're gonna charge you whatever. So because they gotta feed their family, right? So they're gonna pay. You gotta pay them $150 or so an hour.
So you're missing those kids who are hungry, the kids who they don't have anything, and this is a mean and a way for them to get their families out of this situation. I don't know I get it. I don't know every basketball player's life story, but a lot of these players, especially growing up, and I mean just being a coach, a lot of these kids got it good, and that's not a bad thing at all. But like you said, everything is given to them at such a young age. It's like after 17, 18, what's the real passion to play this game anymore? And more, it's like, I want to see what more else it can give me. And like I said, these guys are trying to preserve their bodies. And like I said, they're missing out on, which in my opinion, every game should be important in the NBA. So I don't know, Pep. I don't know. It's trickled down, and I don't know where we go to fix this issue, but it starts at the top for sure. It starts at the top. These guys and these kids see that. I've had a kid who didn't play. Sorry to put you on blast if you're listening, but I had a kid this year who did not play in the jamboree because he jammed his pinky. And it was tape. And because he didn't practice the day before, and he was like, well, I think because I didn't practice that I probably shouldn't play until I practice again. I'm like, okay, with the jam pinky, okay. But I feel like that's really where we're at right now.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I broke a finger and played 2 days later, but okay.
And I'm not saying this is every kid.
Right.
We have a big pool of kids that it's like this now.
Yeah.
And it's trickling down.
I mean, I seen Isaiah Thomas score 28 points in one quarter on one leg.
Yep.
Because he sprained his ankle in the championship series. But did he come out? Nope.
Thanks, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for putting a wrap on that. Let's get to the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Kansas City clinched the AFC West. They're 12-1. Chargers are 8-5, as well as the Broncos. So they've got that locked up. So now they could probably just coast and cruise till the rest of the season.
Sheesh, what do we have? 3 weeks left?
I think we got 4.
4?
Yep.
Oh man, that happened fast.
Yes.
Sheesh.
And
you're talking about locking the playoffs. So I'm like, are we there yet already?
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're locked up, and then the Bills I think have locked up the East, even though they're 10-3, and I see the Dolphins at 6-7. They both could end up 10-7, but we know that ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the AFC North, you got my Steelers up 2 games, 3 games because they've already beaten the Ravens. So they're actually up on them already. And so they're 10-3. Ravens are 8-5, and Bengals and Browns are in the toilet. In the AFC South, you got the Texans at 8-5. They're probably going to get that no problem. Even though the Colts are only 6-7, they're no threat.
No.
No threat whatsoever. NFC, we've got the East. The Eagles are 11-2. Commanders are 8-5. So it looks like the Eagles have got that one under control, and they've won 9 in a row. And that is who my Steelers play at next. My Steelers got a brutal 3-game stretch. Check this out. We got to play at Philly, at Baltimore, then come home for Christmas. Patrick Mahomes.
Sheesh. And you know what's even just a little more spicy for the Eagles game? I'm sure that they're a little pissed on how they just played at home against the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
Even though Panthers have been competing these last few
Hey,
weeks.
Bryce Young, I want to give a shout out to him.
Yes.
He has really stepped up and turned his
And they could have won.
situation around since being benched. It looks like he actually got into the book, got into film, watched what he was doing, what he should have been doing, what he was not doing, all that. And he's corrected a lot of that.
Agreed.
So kudos to him. And I'm glad to see it because, you know, I did not want him to fail.
No.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Nope.
So kudos to that. And the NFC West, your leaders are
the Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks. Rams are set at 8-5. Rams are 7-6. And the Cardinals and 49ers bringing up the rear at 6-7. The NFC North, which is the hottest hot of the hot. The Lions, who've won 11 straight, 12-1. The Vikings 11-2, who the Seahawks will see in 2 weeks. They've won 6 straight. Packers are 9-4.
Oh, the Seahawks played this Sunday, right?
No, they play the Packers this Sunday.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes, Sunday night. Yeah, my cousin, he works for Sunday Night Football.
Oh, nice.
He drives the trucks and stuff, like one of the truck drivers for Sunday Night Football, so he'll be up here.
Nice.
Yeah, JJ Johnson. He also did I don't know if you saw it, but on Thanksgiving, they had a special on John Madden, and he narrated that, and they showed him and driving the Madden Cruiser, because he used to drive for John Madden for the last 5 or 6 years.
Hey, I know he has some stories. That's cool.
Oh yeah, and I actually got a chance to get on the cruiser,
Nice,
and when I was in Jersey, he came up, so it was pretty cool. But I'll see him this week, and then the Buccaneers in the NFC South, which is the NFC Clowns division, because this division is just god awful.
Yeah,
you know. And then the Bucs are 7-6, and the Falcons are 6-7. But the Falcons, man, they got a situation, with Kirk Cousins throwing,
interception after
interceptions like Halloween candy. They got an issue, because look, people are saying, look, we need to get Penix in there, but you can't do it.
Nope, not right now.
Because they're still within striking distance, believe it or not, at 6-7, only a game behind Tampa, and you can't do that to the guy.
Nope.
Because if he fails, then his confidence will be shot. You can't do it to him like that. Even though, what if he comes in and balls out? That's the thing. But you can't take that chance right now. It's not fair to him.
If they lose to the Raiders on the road, do you possibly maybe start to think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. But if they win,
you keep pushing.
Yeah, you keep it pushing.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, they shot themselves in the foot, when they got Kirk Cousins and then signed him for all that money. That was nuts. They could have got a lesser quarterback, but I guess they felt that they, with the weapons they had, with the weapons they have, which is, they're underachieving like crazy. But this is Raheem's first year, so I'm not going to kill him, because they were more mediocre frauds last year. So why is this any different?
Right.
Let's get on with the Seahawks real quick. Man, I've been negative a lot on them, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna give them nothing but positivity on this.
Man, what sucks is this was one of the This is one of the first games I did not watch all season. I'm
Bro.
like, dang, look like they put on a masterclass
They,
finally.
they put on the best game they've had all season.
That's
but the
good.
thing about it is everything clicked.
Okay.
The offense was clicking. The defense was clicking. Special teams was okay.
Mhm.
You know, they had, you know, they didn't really have any problems. You know, okay, so they gave up a touchdown the first drive for Arizona. But after that, it was lockdown city. 2 straight interceptions, both times resulted in 6 points for the touchdowns. And the run game. You know, look, if anybody owes Zach Charbonnet an apology, it's me, because I killed him many times.
Yeah.
I called him slow. I said, man, what? I called him DJ Dallas too. But you know what? So he made me eat crow, and I'm happy about it. You know, I'm not ashamed of that, because at the time it was warranted.
Yep.
All that criticism I was giving him was warranted. Now,
That's why you don't ever need to, especially I trust your word, Pep. You don't ever have to apologize for criticism, because it probably was warranted at that time.
it was, but you know what? I'm also gonna, I just want to give him kudos.
I was about to say, I know you'll
Yeah.
turn around and give him flowers if a player plays well.
Yeah,
So,
he was fantastic
Mhm.
yesterday. I loved his runs, even when he ran for 1 or 2 yards and or for a loss. I just ignored that because it was like, yeah, it happens to everybody, right? Even when Saquon gets a big run, he gets stuffed two straight times. After that, a lot of times. So it happens to everybody. But I just want to see consistency. And look, it's a work in progress as far as the offensive line, but it looks like they finally got some pieces in that's working, because Abe Lucas is back, and then they put in Lumea in for Haynes. And look, on that 51-yard run by Charbonnet, Lumea pancaked the heck out of, I don't remember who it was, but he had my man flat on his back, arms spread.
Nice.
It was devastating. And I'm like, okay, let's get more of this. And so we already know the defense for the 5th straight game has been lights out. So that tells you that they've already figured that portion out. Now, are they an elite defense? Well, it's still a work in progress, but at least they're not bottom of the pack anymore.
It'll tell me a lot next Sunday what they do.
With
I
the
will
Packers,
say that. Yeah.
yes, because the Packers is high octane, right? But so was the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, you're
and they shut them down twice.
Twice.
I mean, nobody. I've seen no other team handle Kyler Murray the way the Seahawks have handled him the last 2 games.
Agree.
Mike McDonald knows what he's doing on defense. He just needed to get his guys in the right spot. He needed to get his guys back from injury, right? And look, he still don't have all his guys. I'm sure there's some guys that he's probably zeroing in on in the offseason that he'll want to get, and of course the draft. So I can't wait to see what happens, going forward. But right now they're 8-5, and I wouldn't put it past them to beat the Packers.
No.
Not the
At
way
home,
that defense is
yeah.
playing.
The way the defense is playing at home Sunday night, it's going to be rowdy in there. And I think just the momentum of playing, and that was a big game at Arizona,
Yes.
where they were at in the standings, and come out and play like that.
Yes.
There's no way that energy doesn't carry forward. So I agree that I can see, and I do believe that the Seahawks will be the Packers at home.
All right. Good. I'm glad to see that. And did you know that the Seahawks are 5-1 on the road?
No, I did not know that.
They haven't lost since they lost to Detroit eons ago. That was back in September, October maybe. Yeah, they haven't lost in a month
But that's what kind of gets me
on the road.
And I'm not saying that the Seahawks are going to get to the Super Bowl.
No.
But that's what makes me confident and excited for them when they do. I'm going to say when they do make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable. I feel comfortable with them with any situation.
Well, look,
especially
did
if
we
they gotta go
expect them at this point of the season to be 8-5? Look, prediction wise, everybody had them at 7.5 wins.
Yeah.
They've already exceeded that.
Yep.
That's already a done deal. So nobody had them leading the division. at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mike McDonald's never had been a head coach before, especially at this level. So, man, you know, and then of course when they lost 5 out of 6, folks wanted to run him out of town. How do you feel now?
Seahawks fans. Typical Seahawks.
Well, that's, you know, every fan base has that,
I know.
actually.
I know.
But it's crazy. But yeah, so, you know, yeah, I wasn't happy, but I said the defense was a work in progress. I mean, they were 31st and 32nd in the last 2 years on defense. So I said, well, if you can get up to 20 in, you know, this year, man, that's a heck of an improvement right there. But I think it looks like they're going to exceed that.
And, you know, I think that Bills game needed a fifth of reality. I think that Rams game was like, okay, this is what we need to do. And ever since
they should have won that game, man.
Exactly.
They should be 9-4.
And ever since beating the Rams or beating the 49ers in San Francisco.
But it all evens out. You know what? To be honest, we shouldn't have won that Jets game.
No, we shouldn't.
We shouldn't have won that Jets game. And we should have beat the Rams. So we are where we're supposed to be. We're 8-5, and now we're getting excited to see what we can do against Green Bay, Jordan Love, and our old buddy was it Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
That because he killed us the last time we saw him with the Raiders. He had over 200 yards rushing. Now if we can handle him, because you know Connor, his first game against the Seahawks, James Conner had 7 carries for 8 yards. Yesterday he had 90 yards, but he didn't break off anything. He had a lot of carries, and he had to work hard for all those. And plus, you know, they were at home. So that's expected. You're not gonna stop, keep the guy under 10 yards. Come on, a guy like that's not gonna happen. So if we can keep Josh Jacobs in check, get him 50, 60 yards, you know, I'll be happy with that.
So Green Bay at home, Vikings at home.
Yep.
Bears on the road.
Yep.
Rams on the road.
Yep. Exactly.
What's their record with these next 4 games?
Man. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm skeptical on the Packers.
Okay.
Really.
Fair enough. Very fair.
But I do believe they can beat the Vikings.
I do too.
Because I don't think Sam Darnold can beat our secondary. Even though Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, Addison
I
had
was watching them yesterday or Sunday. Yeah.
Jordan Addison had 133 yards. Justin had 132. You know, in a whole hum game for him. But look. The Cardinals went up to Minnesota and should have won that game. They lost by 1. So I think we can handle them.
I agree.
Especially if we can stop the run, because their running game is okay. It's not. I don't think it's anything special, right? If I can, I can't. Who's their running back? I can't remember.
I can't.
They don't have Dalvin Cook anymore, and he's not even the same guy anymore. So, but anyway, yeah, as long as we can stop the run, I think we can handle Sam.
Jones.
Aaron Jones is pretty good.
Yeah,
ex-Packer. But if we can handle the run, I think we can take care of Sam Darnold because the Seahawks pressure has been much better. You know, Maffei's been getting in there, and of course Big Cat. And man, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense. You know, especially the front line. You know, because we crying about it all last year and the year before. Our frontline defense was terrible, and it was, but it's not anymore. You're not running through us like that. I mean, yeah, you're gonna break off a few every now and then. It happens, but teams. Look, early in the season, Isaac Guerrero of San Francisco. You ain't never heard of him. He hit us up for 100 yards, right? You know. Tyrone Tracy from the Giants, he hit us up for over 100 yards. But I bet you put them in the backfield now, they're not getting that.
Yeah. Are we coming down to a Rams Seahawks winner go to playoffs? Is that what we're going to possibly come down to?
Yeah, because the winner of the NFC West is the only team that's going to make the playoffs.
Sheesh.
It's not going to be in the wild card.
So the Rams are at the 49ers this Sunday.
Yep.
Then they're at the Jets. Then they got the Cardinals at home, and then us.
Okay, so the Niners, that's going to be trouble for them.
Yes.
Because the Niners look like they got rejuvenated in Chicago. So
And it's at home.
and it's in Santa Clara. So yeah, so the Rams are they're gonna have to play the A game. Now then they play the Jets. That should be no problem.
Yeah, I'm skeptical on how the Jets will look by then if they lose another week.
Yeah, they're
playing.
bro, they're done.
Yeah,
even look, I'll give them credit. Yesterday though, they put on a good show in
Yeah,
Miami
they did.
and tried to beat them. They lost in overtime, but look, they're not giving up. So they might give the Rams some issues, but I kind of doubt it. Puka, he's an elite wide receiver now. I think he's taken over as the number one guy for the Rams as far as that. Cooper Kupp is like a shell of what he used to be. He has too many injuries. He's still formidable, but he ain't the guy. And then just like Seattle, there's changing of the guard. There's no doubt JSN is the number one cat now. Okay, so you can look, Metcalf. Don't be upset. It's just the way the guy is just that good. He's the number one target now, and rightly so. So with the Rams, they play the Jets, and then you got who else after that? Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
They always have trouble with them. Just like we beat them up, the Cardinals beat them up, and the Rams beat us up. So it's crazy how that works.
And so basically, we need those guys to beat up on each other.
Yep. Yep.
And the Seahawks do their job.
Yep. Because we only have one more game against the NFC West opponent, and that's the last game against the Rams. And so, hopefully we'll take care of business and do that. So right now we're 8-5. I'm skeptical on the Packers, to be honest. So I'm 11-6 could be realistic.
Do you feel better though being at home for the against Green Bay Packers?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure, because if it was at Lambeau, I'd say no chance. I would say there was no chance. Yeah, they might be close, but they're not winning. Yeah. It'd be like 24-19 or something like that. I'm thinking if it was in Lambeau here, I think we can get them, 23-21, something like that. As long as yesterday we had good Geno. We had good Geno. He didn't make any critical errors. He didn't panic. None of that. He took a sack every now and then, but he held on. He didn't do any. Well, he did do.
He lost one fumble, or not lose it, but he did fumble once.
And he did throw that one. He got when he threw a pass when he was in the pocket.
I might have missed that one.
Yeah, but no big deal. That was no big deal. They went right back to business.
Look, I'm just like how I was trying to be with the Mariners when they were making their push, and I had nothing negative to say. I'm not saying anything bad about Geno right now. I'm rocking with him.
No, he played great. So he's getting kudos this week. Yeah, we had the Geno we always want to see. We want to see this Geno. We want to see the Geno that can, because he's got a wonderful arm. There's no question about it. He's got a beautiful arm. I just don't want him to fall in love with it. Because sometimes, like I said last week, when you fall in love with your arm, you're inviting trouble. Because the secondaries love that. They like to see guys throwing the ball all over the place because they know they can get them. And the Seahawks can tell you they like that.
Yep.
What happened when Kyler Murray was trying to sling it? He got picked twice, 2 straight series.
Michael Carter said Jackson Smith and Jiggs is number one because the D doubles DK, leaving Jackson in 1-on-1.
Well, but the thing is, he's making the plays.
Yeah.
He's also making the catches that are hard, right? So, and then Geno's looking for him. So he's going to be the number one target because 50-50 balls, DK don't get those.
That's a good point.
That's the problem with him. Like if he's contested, it's 50-50, but it should be 75-25 because he's that big, but he's not that guy.
I agree.
If JSN is covered, I expect him to make the catch, and he does because he did on that touchdown. He was covered.
Yep.
So yeah, I get what you're saying, MC, but JSN is number one, and that's it.
Good point.
Period.
Good points.
Yep. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. We had a great time. We'll be back next week for more LidLine Sports right here, streaming live on Rainier Avenue Radio. On behalf of my man O and Daniel, peace.
Power in the sport.
It is.